G- GM, hello, welcome to From A to Z, an Aavegotchi podcast. We're glad you're here with us this week. Today is March 28th, 2023, and this is episode 12 of season 2. So stay tuned for updates on all things Gotchi. Aavegotchi is an on-chain DeFi NFT RPG where you can own land, farm resources, and build out your own metaverse home base within the Gotchiverse. From DeFi yields to PvP battles and community art curation, the ever-expanding Aavegotchi ecosystem has something for everyone. So thanks for joining us today, whether you're watching live or catching up later. I'm ZFi, this is Zombie Shepherd, and we are back again this week for another episode of From A to Z. What's going on, Zombie?
Doing the damn thing. Still in the studio this week, working hard.
Sure.
I was working on some vocals right before this, recording, being loud as hell. I'm excited. I was about to say I don't have a date yet, but I think we do have a date.
For the album release?
The album release, I think we have a date. I think we're gonna start dropping songs on Monday, April 3rd.
Coming up fast. Nice.
And we're also going to have a special zombie time going on that night as well. Actually, we're going to be doing a new zombie time segment every Monday now. So like after Touch Grass, we're now going to do zombie time. Since we killed our Tuesday night Touch Grass for Sus Chat, our Tuesday night, we technically killed our Tuesday night Touch Grass too, but yeah, we've moved a lot of things around, so hopefully we're not
trying to find what works.
The audience too much. But Touch Grass and Zombie Time on Monday, and then From A to Z, followed by Sus Chat on Tuesdays. So there you go. And then, of course, we still have Zombie Time on Friday. But yeah, I've been in the studio working hard. Yep, that's pretty much it for me. I mean, that's studio.
Yeah. Cool. I guess on my side, I'm not a ton of new stuff, just putting more energy into the same stuff. I'm working with ThriveCoin and meeting with that crew to still shape the community rewards proposal option. I know we've been touching on ThriveCoin here and there. She wants to be on the show today. This is Tina.
Yeah, I have Joe right here next to me. You can see her little head poking up.
Aw.
Yeah,
we're half a cat show, it turns out.
Yeah, Rusty's not. I don't know where Rusty's at, but he's the one who likes to be on here. Yeah. So what were you saying?
Just ThriveCoin.
Before we got cats.
Before we got catity. Yeah. So working with ThriveCoin, we're still trying to shape that proposal. There's still a lot of questions and some like misunderstandings in the community about like what the program actually is, what it does, what it's for. So it's kind of misunderstood at this point. We still want to do a little bit more fine tuning on the prop. It's not going to stop, and then we'll go live on the discourse when that's ready. But still working on it. And then as far as just my personal time, I'm redirecting more of my time and energy from elsewhere into From A to Z endeavors, and we got a lot of good ideas, a lot of plans, a lot of potential. We'll see.
We have always had good ideas. We've never had a shortage of good ideas, and I think we execute on most of them pretty well. So yeah, I just see things getting bigger and better from here.
I'm hoping so, and we keep doing the damn thing. So we'll see.
I was about to say, I'm glad we got this comment because I feel like that is something that maybe is on the feedback form somewhere. Is more cats on the show?
Do we need more cats?
I think there's been at least on Zombie Time for sure. There's definitely been a request for more cats. There was Cat Cam.
Cat Cam was a good time.
Cat Cam is hard because cats do what they want to do. So you can set up the camera, but the chance of the cat staying in front of the camera are based on cat probabilities.
Yes.
Highly unmeasurable cat probabilities. The probability that cat comes back, though, is high.
Under 100%. She'll be back seconds. It'll only take. Yeah, she's feeling friendly tonight, and I think she wants a little bit more food. But we're on a diet because she's a big girl.
Ah, that's what
You
it
gotta
is.
be
It's not
gotta
even
be
love,
careful.
it's food.
It's never it's a cat, it's never love. It's needs.
Oh, kitty.
She's great though. Anyway, just riding the roller coaster up here in terms of daily weather. It's Michigan, it's spring. We go from 45 degrees to 7 inches of snow to snow's gone and it's back to 40 degrees in like 3 day window. So who knows? It's just crazy. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's about the same down here in New Orleans at this time. Not like that. It's about the same shifts though, where we go from like hoodie weather to summer shorts, and you're like, dude, really? And it'll be like the same day actually, because it'll be like
Jarring.
in the morning it's like freezing, and then like midday you're like, oh my god, ready to be in beach clothes.
Soon enough it'll be beach clothes. We'll see. We'll see. I'm looking forward to summer, looking forward to some camping, but for right now, living in Discord. Living in Discord.
Word. Yeah, I mean that is living in Discord too. I've been in the studio, I've been in Discord, and I've also been deep in the Lone Ruffle and Sus writing. So that's another. I have been playing with that a lot, having a lot of fun with that.
Well, enough about us. I think we should get into some Aavegotchi ecosystem stuff.
Whoa, Aavegotchi's doing stuff.
Aavegotchi's doing stuff. Let's switch it on over here. Let's check on some assets, see what the asset prices are at, and we'll get a pulse on the markets. Oh, we don't have our background. Shame.
You go ahead. I'll handle the background, sir.
All right, all right. Well, let me share some screens here. Turn this guy on. Switch my tabs. Go to here. Should be seeing, yes, very good. Okay, so checking out the 7 day charts here, going down the list, we've got Ghost. Ghost is at $1.05, down 22.2% on the week. Ow. Matic is at $1.09. Switch this one over. Again, kind of staying in a band, not going super far in any direction, but a little bit down this week, as most things are. I like my cat. The Gotchi floor. Switch over here. We've got floor Gotchis are now going for 298 Ghost. I did just see a few move yesterday or lower than that, 200 Ghost, but unfortunately it sounds like that was a hack. And those were stolen gotchis. So another reminder, keep yourself as safe as you can, practice good wallet hygiene, keep your seed phrase secure, keep your desktop secure. She's going to end up with more minutes than I am in this show. Up to the parcel floor, you can still get a parcel for 20 Ghost. I saw reasonables down in the low 30s. So it looks like it's at 36 now. But parcel floor hasn't moved, I guess, in terms of the Ghost price. Switching over to Alchemica. Again, the last 7 days has been kind of rough for Elk. FUD, switch this tab. FUD's down. We're at 0011. Thank you for your. I'm going to lose my headset here. And we're back.
Oh yeah, she's like, not a good week to put me on a diet, buddy.
It's been like this for years. This isn't a new thing. She's just being sassy today for whatever reason. Cats. But we got FUD here, 0011, down 24% on the week. FOMO, she's back. FOMO's at 0056, down 19.4%. Alpha is at 0044, down 25.5% on the week. Cuck is at 0138, down 14% on the week. So going through some turbulence here, going through some volatility. I've got to believe a good chunk of it is, macro factors, as like we said, everything's kind of down, but looks like Aavegotchi this week took a bit of a bigger hurt than most. It's all right. It means stuff's on sale.
Ouch.
Yes. But so those are the assets there. As far as announcements and updates and things that are going on, let's see. We can check on final snapshot for rarity farming. That was today. That was this morning. So if you made it, I believe it was 2 p.m. UTC. The final snapshot for season 5 of rarity farming was taken, and stimmies should go out shortly. Congrats to everybody who qualified this season, and I hope the badges are as cool as they usually are. I know they do custom badges each time, so looking forward to seeing those. Let's see. I'm going to turn my screen off here because I don't think we need that anymore. Much better. Next up is the Gotchi Minor Tournament kickoff. So this was announced this morning as well. There's a leaderboard, right? Get your Gotchi Minor out. There's a battle for the top of the leaderboard going on between March 28th and April 4th with prizes galore and cats galore. You can have this one if you win. I'll mail her to you. Competitions open until April 4th. Prizes include XP, mining wearables. I think there's like some Gotchi Minor jeans, Minor helmet, a couple other things, but there's wearables up for grabs and some fake Gotchis as well. For more details, head over to the Curve blog. The Gotchi Minor blog post is up there with all the details you'll need to know. How to sign up, where to go, what the specific prizes are. Scrolling down here. Here are the exact prizes. So there's tiers of XP. Hit a certain score, get a certain amount of XP. And then there are the wearables as well. I have a 1-bedroom home that I rent. Otherwise, I'd be in another bedroom with the door closed. Do the best I can. And again, the Magic Eden contest is also live. So Aavegotchi trading contest currently live on Magic Eden. There's a 20,000 Matic prize pool. And I think I heard recently that they just reduced the commission fee or whatever on the
it was 5%, which is higher than the Bazaar, because I think
Right.
what the Bazaar is 4%, I believe.
And now it's down to 3 or 3.5.
I don't know. I didn't hear what they reduced it to.
I did hear it was reduced. I don't have the details in front of me, but if you weren't trading on Magic Eden because of that, heads up, it's been adjusted. Might be time to head back over and get some volume going. It's going to be the whole time. I don't know about her. I can drop the registration link here. I'm going to copy this link. I will drop this in chat for anybody who is not registered yet. Head on over there and get signed up.
Nice.
And we got a couple more updates. Zombie, you want to take the rest of these?
Yeah, sure. One in the DAO call, it was dropped that we're going to be doing, like, we'll be able to claim our own XP.
Able to or required to?
Required to. So it will no longer be dropped. Obviously, there's a lot of problems with people, like, moving wallets and, especially with lending and stuff like that. Like, if you don't, like, with voting, like, you have to, like, go back to your wallet, right, to be able to vote. Like, or, like, even if you have, like, I guess you would have a split vote if you did vote without your gotchis in your wallet. Like, if you have a bunch of ghosts in your cold wallet and you go vote, but your gotchis weren't in your wallet, then yeah, your VP wouldn't be there. I wonder, so what happens if you move your gotchis back? Can you go vote again to, like, add the VP? Like, can you go?
Once the snapshot's taken, that's it.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're going to be able to go claim your own XP, which I'm not like, there were a lot of questions people were asking that were kind of throwing me off as to how this would work, because they were like, oh, can I claim it with just one gotchi? So, but I thought it was kind of like the XP went to all the gotchis the way it's airdropped. So does that mean that you can, like,
I understand the question.
Does that mean that the XP is stacking now? So instead of it being like 20 XP to each gotchi, it's like,
you've got 10 gotchis, you've got a total of 200
per gotchi. Because they were like, oh, can I claim it all to one gotchi? And it was very,
Was there an answer to that or no?
I mean, is there
'Cause
a
that's a legit
reason?
question.
Well, the way Coder Dan said it made more sense because he was saying that you can select and deselect which gotchis get XP.
So then you can allocate. If you have
But
10 gotchis and 20 XP a pop, you get 200 to spread across your gotchis however you see fit. Is that how it's
isn't
going to
the
work?
way it currently works right now that it goes to both gotchis because the XP
20
is
a pop.
being dropped to your wallet.
Correct. Any
So
gotchi in there
both
gets the XP.
gotchis get 20, but now you're saying you have to split it. So if there's only 20 XP, only one gotchi can get it, or one
Now I
both get
think
10.
what I wonder and what I suspect is the case is you'll still get your per gotchi XP, but you'll be able to allocate. So if you have 10, you'll be, I'm guessing here, I'm speculating. If you have 10 gotchis, you would get 20 XP each for a total of 200 XP
I don't think that's going to happen.
to
We've
then
already
split across
people
your
have
10.
already complained about XP as inflation.
So
So
this
I
is a no.
guarantee that's not happening.
So then, based on Coder Dan's response, that was a Coder Dan response, right? Where you can toggle. Is that what you said?
Yeah. But
So based on that, then
the
it would
way
just be
I
opt in or opt
understood
out.
it, see, I think the crowd was misunderstanding this and thinking you could stack it like that because the way I understood it when he said it was basically if you didn't want gotchis to get XP. Not that there would be any kind of multipliers or stackers
I
by
see.
doing this, but if for some reason you wanted a gotchi to be left out, then you would just toggle that one off.
Okay, so it's just opt in.
That's what I think that's what it was.
That would be the easiest dev lift, so that's probably most likely.
Although the first thing I thought there was like, why would you not want a gotchi to get XP? Is there a reason that you would keep
It's just an opportunity to miss
just to
XP.
keep a low level gotchi just in case?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm certainly not incentivized to reduce XP on any particular gotchi unless it's going into another one.
Yeah. That is another one of those things though. When people start talking about XP as inflation, I'm like, man, like, are we?
The whole game is going to need XP. Like the whole 30 years of Aavegotchi should be dispersing XP for doing quests and stuff.
Exactly, and it's not even an ERC 20, and I don't know. To me, it's just very strange that we talk about everything in these like very financial terms, even when they're not necessarily financial. Like, yeah, that I find that very strange that like XP inflation bothers people. I mean, this is not like a hot take at this point. Everybody knows how I feel about it, but like I thought about it in a new way as far as like the farms being nerfed from the very beginning. So basically Alchemica is fun tokens, and we took the number of fun tokens you get, and because of like to stop token emissions to stop the price from going down, we said, oh, everybody gets less fun tokens, thinking we would make people buy more fun tokens to build their farms. And
The people
instead,
just
everybody
opted out of the
said,
fun.
oh, I guess I just won't build my farm.
Huh.
Like this doesn't look, it wasn't worth it to build a farm because now the amount
Sucks.
of fun tokens coming out of it. So yeah, when you take every aspect of a game itself and then try to like minimize everything, what you're actually minimizing is fun. You're literally saying don't have fun here, or if you want to have fun, do it with money. And it seems to me that like investors don't dump money, they don't put quarters in a slot to just go down
For
the drain,
fun. Yeah.
but exit liquidity does. So that's just my like view on that. And like when you start to, and that, like I said, because XP is not an ERC 20, so like to start thinking about it in that way.
It is transferable through gotchis though. So if you were to like sacrifice your XP loaded gotchi, you'd be inflating
And I
whichever
mean,
one.
based on the price of potions are freaking nuts. Like the original potions, like it was like 10K, 25K, like for a potion on the bazaar. Like it was something crazy. Man, she is persistent.
Relentless.
Oh my god.
When she makes up her mind about something, she's assertive.
Anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next little bit here, but instead of ranting about the fun. um the Polygon ZK EVM has launched. It launched yesterday.
Tell me about this. I am out of the loop on ZK stuff.
Well, I guess Polygon, they got to be first to market, so that's they did it with POS and now they're doing it again with this Polygon ZK EVM, but they were basically like we're going to be the first ZK to mainnet, which I think
Nice.
ZK Sync actually did go to mainnet, but obviously like Polygon um they're going to try to swing hard. They're swinging for the fences. But I'm kind of bullish on ZK EVM for I mean there's a lot to dive into here and it's definitely early, so it's one of those things that if you're not an experienced user I wouldn't go in there, and even if you are an experienced user I would not go in there hard. I would go
Do
in
so
there
with
with
caution.
whatever you feel is fuck around and find out money, because it's very early and I don't even know what's launched on there yet. Like there may not be much to do, um but it's not in competition with proof of stake directly with the POS chain, meaning where we live right now. So the reason I say that is because they're not expecting every project to move from POS to the ZK EVM, but
Makes
they
sense.
are expecting that some projects will migrate, probably things like Aave. Aave might even just launch another instance on the ZK EVM and still keep the proof of stake going for now.
Same way they launched on multiple chains so you can still use it but wherever you're at.
I think that's kind of the point of the V3 model of the portals. So I think you're supposed like this portal model I think is going to make it to where you can really easily change liquidity between chains through Aave, because Aave is like, well, it's all our money. Like you can move money from one chain to another because it's basically turning Aave into a bridge at that point.
Nice. Yeah.
Like I said, that's another one of those things that I haven't messed with much because I don't like getting on things that seem crazy. I also don't need to bridge that much between chains. Like I originally, I bridged into Arbitrum and Optimism and ZK Sync, and I'll probably bridge into ZK EVM. I think the only way to bridge into it right now is through layer one because it's a ZK chain. The only thing it connects to at this point is the layer one Ethereum. You can't
Hmm.
bridge from anywhere else here yet
So
because
how is it
it's ZK.
Polygon?
Well, because they did it. It
So
has
it's just
nothing to
Polygon's
do
branded
with the
ZK.
with the Matic chain.
Okay. Okay. See.
And that's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's why I'm bullish on this, because this is also Polygon making good on their promise to another step to say that they are Ethereum aligned, because people always had that like reluctance to trust them and said that like, oh, well, you can at any point, like you could just like you have your own token. You can just decide that you're going to do your own security mechanisms, which I think was like naive anyway, because security is a big deal. I mean, they already are their own security mechanism to a large degree, but so like the call was that like you didn't have to be Ethereum aligned, but the ZK EVM is going to use ETH for gas. It's not going to use the Matic token at all. So this is Polygon. This is Polygon's layer two.
Got it.
The proof of
As
stake
opposed
chain
to
is a
sidechain.
side chain.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this is Polygon's layer two. Where this is interesting for us, I mean, obviously, because Polygon is our neighborhood, people who are on Aavegotchi are likely using other DeFi and other gaming protocols and everything in Polygon. And Lens is also doing its thing. And there's been some speculation with Lens that they're going to a supernet. And obviously, Gotchi Chain is going to a supernet. Gotchi Chain is going to be a supernet. So what I'm wondering with a lot of these things um, is, does that make the supernets more closely aligned with the ZK EVM chain or the original Matic chain?
My gut says original Matic chain because the supernets are going to have Polygon validators, right?
Yeah, but I think you're moving away from, they're going to start there, but eventually they're going to move away from that validator set. So I'm wondering if that validator set would just become like an independent validator set and move it farther away from anyone. Meaning, like, if there's a bunch of Gotchi chain validators, then it really has nothing to do with Ethereum. Well, I guess this is what it comes down to: is in the who's the security layer? Is Matic going to end up being the security layer for Ghost Chain, for Gotchi Chain? Or are the supernets eventually going to move to validator sets that use Ethereum as its security?
Good question.
That's what I want to know.
So what makes sense to me at this point is on Polygon, you spend Matic for gas. The gas goes to the validators, right? On Gotchi Chain, you spend Ghost for gas. Does that Ghost gas then also go to the Polygon Matic validators? Or is it possible where,
Yeah,
like,
well,
Ghost would be doing their, like, Aavegotchi would be running their own, or the community would be running our own validators?
well, in the beginning, it's going to be Matic validators. So they're going to be getting Ghost, I'm sure, or there will be some kind of. I mean, they'll have to if that's what's the gas of the chain. But it may also be that there's back end like auto swaps in the sense that like Vitalik has talked about this before, and I'm sure we'll have this with smart contract wallets. And when we get to like real like ZK launches, like we're just in the like dipping our toe in the water with this technology. But
For
when we
sure.
have actual smart contract wallets, you should be able to pay gas in whatever you want. So yeah, like
Ooh.
yeah. And I don't know if that works.
Never paying gas and ETH
I
again.
don't know if that works because somebody in the middle, like, man, I can't think of their name right now. The people that do the MEV bots.
My first initial thought was like
No,
Changelly,
no, no,
one of
no,
these services that would get in the middle and swap for you.
no, no, no. It's somebody that's already in there that you're not thinking about, like flash bots. Flash bots are the ones that are kind of in between your layer one transactions, at least. I don't know. They're probably on other chains. They're probably on at least the EVM chains. They may not be on Matic on POS, but flash bots are essentially like a company that has created a thing that steps in the middle and smooths out EVM. And what it kind of does is not EVM, MEV, the miner extractable value. So instead of
Okay.
miners being able to directly kind of like uh, do things that are questionable during the transactions, like squeezing in their own transactions or reorging things as they want because maybe they want to get somebody else on the bus before you, kind of thing. And basically, like it causes gas to be able to spike a lot because basically they can kind of like set this standard to be like rates are high right now. It's not necessarily um, just that there's high traffic, but it's also that there's because there's high traffic, they're gouging.
It's like
They're able to
government
gouge.
says, "Oh, we're having inflation," and corporations go 50% price increases.
Well, if you think about, you've
Tuck
seen
that in there.
the bus website for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if
Yeah.
you think about a block as a bus, and then the validator is the bus driver, if the validator says you're not getting on this bus without $10, and they just decide because they have the God power at that moment that like that's what it's going to be. But Flashbots is a thing that essentially puts itself in the middle to smooth this out, and it gives you a smoother gas experience. But it still does an MEV process. It basically tips the validator and just says, look, just take this. Stop being greedy. And so it's auto tipping also. And it's
Okay.
also the idea that maybe they can gouge here and they can gouge there, but over the course of Flashbots, it's almost like they can make a steadier tip than if they were just like doing this like more gouging type MEV.
What do the miners think? What do the validators think?
I don't know. I don't.
Either. Curious,
No,
curious.
no.
I gotta
The
ask because
point
that affects
I'm
them as
making,
well.
though, the point that I don't know what they think about it, but what I'm saying is probably what they think about it is I don't want die, I don't want ghost, I don't want matic, I want my fucking ETH when I validate. So what I'm saying is that there might be something in the middle that works similar to Flashbots that turns whatever gas
Ah,
token you're using into something the validator actually wants.
so the user can spend whatever they want, and the validator ends up receiving ETH.
Because, dude, I would be
Nice.
pissed if I'm a validator and I just like keep getting shit coins all day because that's what people
Yeah,
do
don't pay
in
me in
their gas.
cummies.
People are just fucking filling up my tip jar with a bunch of crap I don't know what to do with. Like, I don't even know
Right?
where to swap this. How did this get here?
It's stuck there. It's a trash coin. Nothing you can do about
Because I mean,
it.
while
Cool.
there's great things like Odos, which I'm glad you introduced me to that, but it doesn't have every coin. There's a lot of coins on there it doesn't have,
I'm
obviously.
surprised though what it does cover. It's got all the Aavegotchi ecosystem assets. It got bank token. It's got anything that I interact with. I haven't been stopped yet. There's
Dude,
nothing that
it's got A tokens. So you can
right,
actually do this is what's so funny
super
about
smooth.
DeFi and about crypto in general that you don't think about because we're so used to the front end and we're so used to the walled garden models of Web 1 and 2. So like okay, you can do everything from the back end. The front end is kind of like it's a front end. You go to the Aave front end, it's going to give you warnings. It's going to give you like you got to acknowledge thing. You got to check this thing off to acknowledge it's going to move your health factor on your loan or whatever. So these are all like quality of life user experience things that you get on the front end. Well, if I go to something like Odos, I can literally swap into and out of A tokens from this other swapper and never have to interact with the Aave front end, but I'm still interacting with Aave. And it's
And
the
if
same
you're
thing.
acquiring A tokens, you're still going to get that same interest rate that you would get from an A token directly from the Aave platform.
Yeah, exactly. And then same thing with like using the Aavegotchi the swapper. The Aavegotchi swapper lets you swap into AM tokens at least, the V2. Yep. So apparently everybody's using Odos. It's good.
Odos is it. If you don't know about it yet, Odos is it. We got to reach
And
out
the
to them. See
gas
if they
fees
want.
are good. Like
I will. When I started
I
using
don't go with
Odos,
the site suggested, but I do adjust my gas. It does start high, but it's fine. But
I've made trades where I actually earned money on the trade before. They've found Odos has been so efficient that it has found a profitable trade route to like flip a coin, get profit.
nice.
Small, but beats
Well,
$15
that's
send ETH.
arbitrage. I mean, that's literally arbitrage, you know?
Yeah, and it's just built automatically into the bot. I'm a big fan. And then the multi swap too. You can do multiple tokens in, multiple tokens out. Let's say I've got 6 or 8 just idle tokens I don't want. Cash them all out. Put them all into DAI. Put them all into
And you
Ghost. Put
can
them all into
set them into
something.
percentages on the way out. Like, that's
Right?
so
Take my
dope.
whole garbage wallet and split it into 30% ETH and 70% Ghost or whatever. Odos is sweet. If you're not using it yet to do your swaps, it's just an aggregator. It's like an aggregator of aggregators, and it allows you to compound your trades. Yeah, very cool site. Very cool site.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I mean that's just me speculating on Polygon. I mean, that was my first thing when I heard ZK EVM was coming out cuz like I mean I've been knowing about it for a while, but let's see, yesterday it launched. There was also a podcast I listened to it. I had the Bankless early podcast listening to before it came out kind of thing. And then what was it last Wednesday? Last Tuesday or Wednesday, I went to a Polygon thing where basically we learned how to it was like run by Steph at Polygon and it was teaching you how to deploy onto ZK EVM from mainnet, just showing you how to like bridge tokens or whatever. And
I might have to
yeah,
mess with that.
I'm not much of a dev or a coder, but it was interesting. And I go to a lot of those Polygon, like whenever we have the alpha meetings where I can get alpha on what's going on. But the first thing I thought upon learning about ZK EVM, and especially the fact that it was going to use ETH as gas, I was like, oh no, what is about to happen to Matic? But Mahalo said, like, while it is considered legacy tech, there's still going to be a lot going on here. And it doesn't look like anybody's about to slow down. And since we're going into this layer two future, realistically, every layer two's ability to scale is going to be sideways, parallel. So like we're not even thinking about layer three. We don't need to think about layer three yet because like layer two is going to basically be like, oh, Matic and ZK EVM are going to touch. And then Optimism and Arbitrum are going to touch. And I mean, these things already touch through bridges. You know what I mean? You can already use a cross or hop or whatever to jump a lot of these things. But when it gets to the point where you're in your wallet and you don't have to switch between wallets to do a transaction on layer one and then use your Lens account on Matic and then do, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like, you know, obviously there will be other versions, but I feel like Aave v3 is very much thinking into that future of like Aave's already become that, like, it's not a bridge, it's more of a mesh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it feels
Very
like
interesting.
that's going to be the layer two thing. So it'll be interesting because it'll be cool to see, like, right now, thinking about Gotchi chain right now, I'm thinking it sounds very isolated. It sounds like you're going to have to come in from Coinbase into POS, and then you're going to have to go to Gotchi chain. But in the future, it feels to me like if I want to uh, send some ETH to Gotchi chain, I should be able to do that. That's actually an
Which would
interesting.
require a bridge then, right?
Well, if everything is a layer two mesh, then it wouldn't even be a
You wouldn't
bridge.
even need the bridge. I
Right.
see.
But it also depends with these super nets. Are like, for some things you may not like, they're all gonna need. This is actually what's weird about super nets, and I'm not sure how I feel about it yet, or like just these side chains in general. Like, you still need everything that a layer one or a layer two needs, meaning you don't have a blockchain until you have an AMM. You really don't have good DeFi until you have lending and borrowing. You know what I mean? There's like certain Legos that you need in order to do shit.
Stable
So,
coins is a big piece of that too,
yep.
unfortunately.
So, yeah, that's just me musing on the ZK EVM. You know, I'm bullish on all these layer twos and things. I mean,
ZK is one I would play with. That's one I'll unless gas is asinine. I want to get some money
now
with
that
ZK.
I'm not on the Polygon yet. I am on ZK Sync, and I've already got ETH over there. So I'm like, open something up. Like, when is Aave gonna open up on ZK Sync? Then I can do something over there. Like,
Nice.
um,
ZKs is going to be that type of interaction with a blockchain. I think is going to bring in a lot of normies and institutions. Zero knowledge proofs is like, you go to apply for a mortgage. They require you to give them like your whole entire bank account history for a certain period of time, 2 years or something. And it's just to see, do you have an income level that meets this mortgage? Do you have, like, there's simple checks that they're looking for, but they have to look at everything in aggregate. With ZK, all the mortgage company has to do is ask, does this person have a qualifying income level?
yeah.
Boom, reference to
Well, that
chain.
would be with
And the
ZK
bank
Proof.
gets a yes. The bank
Yeah,
gets a yes, not everything you've ever purchased. So, I mean, ZK proofs, I think, are going to be a big deal.
yeah. That's another thing about the ZK EVM too, is that it does settle back to Ethereum like often, every few minutes or something like that. Whereas like something like from what I hear, I think Optimism might settle like every couple days back to Ethereum. And then Arbitrum, I think, is every 6 minutes. But they also have like a gas delay feature. Like, if gas is too high, um, like basically every 6 minutes they send a batch of transactions back to layer one to like be like, here, write this down. We did some business, write it down. You know what I mean? They put it on the that's what security means realistically, is we're putting it on the ledger that, like, and that's why I don't this is a good one I don't know about with Polygon yet. So this is one of those things that would certainly clear something, make me more or less bullish. But with with Arbitrum and Optimism in the future, it's not live yet, but you should be able to get your ETH from layer 2 even if it shuts down. There will be like a layer 1 backdoor where essentially, because it settles back, it'll be, I mean, I guess you wouldn't be able to prove anything that happened in the 6-minute delay between the last settlement. And I guess if that's the case, that would scare me with Optimism, because if they're not settling but every couple of days, then that could be days worth of transactions unsettled if
Yeah,
something
that's
goes
risky.
wrong.
Yep.
So that's a little bit risky. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I would say Polygon ZK EVM is essentially the same thing as the POS chain as far as like the company. Like, it's still a multi-sig, it's still Polygon, it's still everything you'd expect from Polygon as far as being like, super bullish on shipping. I'm sure there's going to be stuff to do really close, like really, we're not going to be waiting long.
Yeah. Well, I
So,
like to see those evolutions. More tech, more better. Very cool.
oh yeah.
Any updates on Gotchi Chain? I saw that was on our list as well here.
No, that was just, I kind of was just talking more about, we don't have any true updates. We know they're going to be doing it. They're already like talking about it. I think it's maybe over the summer. So it is coming soon, but that was kind of tied in with my musings about the ZK EVM.
Indeed. Well, cool. I'm glad you got your eyes on the Polygon portion, because that's, like I said, that's something that was off my radar, and I like getting in the loop. This cat is something else. Cool. Well, do you want to talk about some DAO stuff? We got some snapshot votes up, some SIG props open, and some active
Man, I
discussion.
was hoping to run the clock out on DAO shit, but
Oh, shoot. I know sometimes
it's
it's a struggle, but when it comes to
got
DAOs,
Goobs in the
governance is
house.
everybody's responsibility. So we gotta
I'd rather
be
hang
up
with
on
Goobs than talk DAO stuff, but
it. We need like Zoom breakout rooms. If you want to hang out with me and talk about DAO stuff, so you can hang out here. But if you want to hang out with Goobs and what's this?
You know what? I would love to click that, but in the studio, we're not allowed to click links.
Oh, it's like incapable of clicking links. If you can Discord DM us, we can click it. But like clicking that just shows it on the screen, unfortunately for us.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never click links in Discord DMs, especially. If you DM me on Telegram or Discord, I ain't clicking shit. Booyakasha.
I'll just go to Twitter here, see if we can pull it up. That Aavegotchi official, Goobs?
It is.
Got it. Appreciate you, man.
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
I'm making sure it's an actual twitter.com. We're good. Just in case, now you got me paranoid.
I ain't clicking shit.
All right, share this tab.
Did you do it?
Boom, we got it. 3D Aavegotchi wearables coming to Gotchi Guardians.
So wait a second. So Gotchi Guardians is gonna launch on Gotchi Chain, right?
That is the news that I'm going, okay. I did not realize. I thought this was just like a mobile game. I didn't realize it was a mobile game.
It is a mobile game, but it is well, it was gonna have an integration with MetaMask. I think there was gonna be an integration as far as wallets. This is going to be interesting. I was talking about this with, I met the Choco Wallet people at ETH Denver, and we were talking about, I just lost it.
Choco Wallet people.
No.
We're talking ETH Denver, talking about Gotchi Chain or mobile game on blockchain.
And how mobile apps are going to get around, Apple and Google. Like how are
That was my
mobile,
first gut. That was my first like, yeah, they're not going to get this on the App Store if it's a blockchain game,
but
unless the App Store gets 30% of everything. Eesh.
yeah, I mean that's the thing is, and I was telling them about MetaMask and how MetaMask has gotten around it, and they were like, well, just because you're getting around doesn't mean that MetaMask or Consensus or Infura or somebody else on the back end isn't paying that somewhere.
Right.
There could be like this smoothing out the experience, but I doubt it. That would be high ass like transaction fee to be paying for people. I don't see it happening. Just to get a mobile app, like I don't know.
It's a big
Maybe
cut. We'll see how they do it. We'll see how they do
they
it.
might
But
have
the
the
fact that it's a mobile game on blockchain, I don't know of another one yet. So that's cool.
yeah. So um yeah, it'll be interesting to see how all this stuff gets handled. So let's get into these DAO updates. What's
All
happening?
right. Oh, shoot, I tripped over my own. All right, here we go. I guess real quick, the quickest thing I can do is touch on the closed ones from last week. The DAO Media Team funding and the Gotchi Lodge 2023 budget revision, budget extension request. It looked like the DAO Media Team funding, the result on that was a very narrow no. It was a 50.21% vote for cease funding. So this means, as of that vote, the DAO has voted not to fund recording or archival of Hangouts or DAO meetings and has voted against paying Hefe for his work the last 8 weeks. So there's been some discussion on that. There's been some people trying different approaches, some expressions of frustration, and some encouragements to resubmit, make some tweaks, change some things. I've been watching a lot of the DAO discussion, and I think what might help is questions. I don't know. Maybe if the DAO is willing to accept this proposal in a certain form, you gotta like fish out what that certain form is. Might be
Well,
worth reapplying.
we did a forum just to find out what people think about Aavegotchi media in general, including from A to Z and the Aavegotchi community and DAO calls. So if people fill out that form, that would be an awesome help to all of us to figure out what it is that people want. And
Drop the link there in chat.
I tried to also like head it off with the Dow Media crew in the chat. I was like, hey, I tried to be the sane, rational person and just like say, hey, we barely lost. I don't think it's that big a deal. Let's just like get some feedback, rewrite it, and put it back in. But as you see in the threads, like they're just going off. Like,
I think there's still room. There's possibility that this gets solved. I think it is solvable. But like you said, it's people seeming to loudly express opinions rather than work toward a specific solution or attempt a specific alternative. So I think it's just a matter of time. I think this can still be salvaged.
yeah, I mean,
Personally.
yeah, I agree. It can. I'm personally bearish on bounty boards. I have done it before. I've seen how it goes down. And
It has its place, but I don't think it's a good overall encompassing.
bounty boards are not good for anything that you need to get done. If it has to get done,
Oof.
you can't depend on a bounty board. A bounty board is for like
I see what you mean.
optional stuff. This is things we'd like to get done. These are things that like or they're things that need to get done often and anybody can do it, but it's not necessary as to who or when or how or like whatever.
Yeah.
But like when you have a scheduled thing that happens every time, if you put this call on a bounty board, what you're going to end up is you're going to end up with a quilt of calls.
Be
And
a
some
lot
of
of
their
different, yeah, they'd be different every week, different resolution, different shape, different graphics.
different quality of listening. Some of them are going to be unlistenable, and you're going to not learn
We've
that
seen that
till
in
it's too
Bankless.
late.
We've seen that. But anyway, I guess I don't want to spend too much time on this since it's closed, but I did want to mention that it was a very close no. And I think I would echo some community members and say that's worth continuing to pursue, because at the very minimum level, that like recording an archival of these DAO meetings at the very least that's like operational minimal. That's if we're going to be an open DAO with transparency and auditable. People can go back
Well,
and see
that
how
was also
decisions
a
were
big
made.
part
Like
of
we
it.
have to have this type of stuff.
People were upset because they said it wasn't a very good marketing push, and I was trying to make it clear that, like,
Not
also,
marketing.
this isn't marketing, this is
Yeah,
literally archiving.
it's operations.
Like, these calls aren't always entertaining, and there's nothing I can do to make them entertaining. So I can't put my oh shit face and be like, oh my god. I mean, I could. I get, oh my god, look what Aavegotchi did. And then you go listen to the call, and you're like, oh man, I don't even know what they're talking about. This is boring as shit. Like,
You can't hype it. It's just information. It's not. It's
this
not marketing. It's
is
archiving.
marketing.
Yeah,
This is something you work on your engagement, and you make sure it doesn't suck, and you try to get people to click the like button and comment and be your friend, and
subscribe.
like click all the buttons. There's things here. You're supposed to be trying to grow this. If this sucks and your numbers are low, this didn't need to be archived. This doesn't need to happen. You know.
But some stuff does, and I think those DAO meetings are like the bare minimum. So
Right.
anyway, I just wanted to say, community, I think this is important. Let's try this again. Gotchi Lodge 2023, another closed budget. That one passed. It was a 77.71% fund the extension, so that is good to go.
No, that was the SIG prop. So we're going into core
That
prop.
was, yes, sorry, I should have been.
So the
more clear
core
there.
prop should be going up today or tomorrow. I don't know if it went up today or not. Probably
Cool.
not, I guess, because we looked at the snapshot before we came in, right? So yeah. But when that does go through, please vote yes again.
Yes. We made it 52 minutes into this episode, and Tina has finally given up, and now she's headed for my bed. She's going to lay down. It took 52 minutes of trying. She's a persistent one. For the open DAO proposals, just 2 SIG props this week, and they're both for the liquidity provision from the curve closure. So 25% of the curve DAI funds came out to like 7.5 million DAI was allocated for liquidity provisions, and 5 million of that has already been managed. It was paid originally out of the DAO wallet. So this first one, reimbursement of the DAO, get that up on the screen here.
One thing I would say about this that was unclear, it's assumed where the money is coming from.
How do you mean?
Reimbursement. Well, it keeps saying that we need to reimburse the DAO, but it never states which wallet is reimbursing the DAO, like where exactly
It
the funds
does.
are moving from and to.
It does. So the 7.5 million liquidity is the from, and that is the 25% allocation that was set aside from the curve closure.
That's a number.
It,
That's not a FUM. It should
but
have it. Yeah.
it's going to the original DAO wallet because where did it go?
No, yeah, I understand where it's going to, but it doesn't say where the funds are currently sitting. So, in my
It does
opinion,
not.
that's unclear.
Yes. So it does not say where the funds are sitting specifically, but this is the funds in question are that allocated chunk from the curve. Where specifically, I don't know, but generally that's the source.
Right.
Ultimately, what happened here and why we're reimbursing the DAO is these liquidity programs had been set up with 5 million DAI worth of assets before we received the curve closure funds. So at this point, we're taking whatever we were getting from the curve and putting it back into the wallet that it was originally spec'd out of. Don't have specifics there, but that's the gist as I understand it. So far, QuickSwap has 160,000 Ghost in their liquidity management program there, and then the balancer pool has just over 2.5 million Ghost and under 1 million USDC. Both of those were from the DAO wallet. So that's approximately $5 million worth. And the option is there's a bunch of options for this first prop. We definitely need to reimburse the DAO. The first question is, how do we do it? Do we reimburse all of it in DAI? Would we reimburse 4 million worth in Ghost? Because that's what the Ghost cost was. That's the Ghost spend originally. Reimbursing Ghost for Ghost using DAI to buy back the Ghost. So those are the 2 original choices. If we choose the second choice, there are now sub-choices, including, should we reimburse the DAO at the current Ghost value, which would be a fixed single purchase of 3 million Ghost, or $3 million worth of Ghost? Should we reimburse the DAO at the added liquidity value when the pools were originally set up, which would be a $4 million purchase of Ghost. And then these other two, which are similar, but another layer of complication. We stick with 1-to-1. A ghost is a ghost, right? We can try to start with this 5 million die and purchase as much of the 2.7 million Ghost back as we can. If we can't reach it, we stop at 5 million. That's what we get, right? The fourth option is the same approach. 1 Ghost equals 1 Ghost. We still try to get that 2.7 million Ghost that was originally allocated for the liquidity, but we use the entire 7.5 million die to do it. We start at 0, purchase exactly this amount of Ghost. If it goes over 5 million, it goes over 5 million. We go all the way up to potentially 7.5 million. But if there is anything left after 2.7 million Ghosts have been purchased, that remainder would be split in half Ghost, half USDC, and we'd put it into a quick swap pool. So those are the 4 options. Clear as mud, right?
So $7M5 doesn't mean anything to me. Is that what
this is $7.5 million?
Is that how you write that? 7M5?
No. This is how it's written. That's not how you write it. As far as I know, I've never seen it like this, but that's what it says.
But how do you know that that's what they mean then?
Because it was just over $7 million for a quarter of the 28 and change, almost 30 million total in the curve. So the curve funds divided by 4 is like 7 point something. And they're saying it's ish 5.
Gotcha.
Cool. So there's 4 options on that one. And if we do select this one down here, it renders the next proposal, this next SIG prop, moot. If any of the other options, including these 3, or the straight die reimbursement, if any of those pass, the next proposal kicks in. And the next proposal is regarding this last $2 million $5, written differently again, incorrectly again, but this is $2.5 million worth of die. Maybe that's like a regional, like a local. I don't know. I've never seen this syntax before. But the second proposal is, what do we do with that 2.5 million? So if any of the other options on that first proposal win, this also comes into play. If the very last option on the first proposal wins, this proposal gets deleted because it already explains how to use the last 2.5 million.
Right.
So essentially everything in this document is the same as the first one, but it explains that split. I've got nothing valuable additionally to add in terms of like explaining it. That's really all it is. It's either like you pick the first one, you pick option 2A, 2B, 2C, or you pick this proposal. So I am not tokenomically inclined. I'm going to have to do some more reading and some more digging and some more understanding on this before I vote. But at least I feel comfortable now at this point knowing the options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's just these 2 this week, just 2 SIG props. Head on over and read and review. There's SIG props too, so we still have time to ask questions if there's things you're unclear about before voting. And then lastly, there's just some open discussion going on. There's just open DAO discussion in the forums and in the Discord forum channels. Currently, the one that I want to direct people's attention to is the Thrivecoin discussion. Like I said earlier, there just still seems to be a little bit of confusion on like what it is. Is it a bounty reward thing? Is it like contributor appreciation? Is it a direct remuneration for work? There's a lot of questions. For clarity, for information, head on over there if you've got suggestions for things that might be contributions from the community that don't typically get addressed or rewarded. Let us know. You know, right now we're trying to form a board that would essentially determine what types of things in the ecosystem are valuable and then weight those contributions with a particular value. But more information, more input, more help, more better. If that's something they're unclear on or interested in, head on over to that discussion. And then lastly, we want to plug our Web3 podcast survey. Zombie and I are working on just, again, still trying to refine our content. We want to make sure that we're delivering stuff that's valuable, delivering stuff that's relevant. So we want to know what you're into. You know, if there's other podcasts that you typically watch, if there's things in Web3 or crypto that are like really cool that you're very passionate about, let us know. This is the type of stuff that we can dig into and share with everybody else. So that link I did drop in chat. I think it might be the last thing. It's the last thing in chat. So if you haven't taken that yet, please head over there. Totally anonymous. Yeah, we just want to know what you think. We want to know what our audience is working with. So if you could take that, we would certainly appreciate it.
I was just
So what do you think?
Girly in to make sure that she's going to make it to sus chat in the next
yes.
30 seconds.
Nice.
Well,
that's all I've got for DAO updates. Do you want to close us out here?
Do I have anything? I don't think I have anything.
Anything new going on with Lonely Raffle and Sus?
I guess you'll have to come to Sus Chat to find out. I just dropped the Discord link to the Zimtimo community chat.
Cool.
Oh, wait. Maybe not. Maybe that's the wrong link. Maybe that one's not going to work. I don't know. Let's see what happens if people use that link. Oh, no, that should work.
Cool. So if you want to join us for Sus Chat after this, hop into the Zimtimo community server.
And yeah, I mean, no big updates. Like I said, I just been in the studio trying to finish this album, and then doing some writing. So all the big updates will be in the room.
Cool.
Top secret.
All right. Well, we've got, like we said, we've got Sus Chat coming up right after this. So our Fats Tuesday is from A to Z at 7.
That's Tuesday.
Right into Sus Chat right after that. And then Touchgrass again, we moved to Monday. So we're Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time there. One last plug. If you haven't collected our Season 2 token yet, head on over to Lens. There are some left. And we are not done experimenting with token gating and token-related benefits. So
yep,
collect that if you're into the stuff. And yeah, that's all I got for today.
Cool. I'll see y'all at Sus Chat.
Awesome. Thanks for coming, everybody.
Yeah.